Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the DX TIGUARDORA from Avataro Sentai DonBrothers. And basically this is like an accessory weapon for Don Dragoku and Don Torbolt. Kind of an arm guard, TIGUARDORA, so they love their puns. But basically he wears it on his arm, he can store a couple Avataro gears here, and it's also what he uses to Avatar change into past Sentai members. So it does come with two Avataro gears here. We have the Avataro gear for Don Torbolt, and also the Kiba Ranger gear. So pretty cool there. Packaging just kind of mainly has the main item here. Nice picture of Don Torbolt on this side. And it does show us that, of course, it has connectivity with the Ryuko no Geki. Also has connectivity with the Zanglass sword. So we'll take a look at both of those. Got Don Dragoku over here on this side. And then we got Don Torbolt over here on this side. Both of them up top. Not really anything going on the bottom. And then spin it around to the back and it just shows you all the gears and everything. Of course, you can use all the different gears and we'll go through a ton in this video. And also the connectivity here with the Ryuko no Geki. So, pretty cool. You can see here it does require two AAA batteries. So, if you're picking this up, make sure you have some AAA batteries handy. Also, up here is a little QR code for the instructions because there are no printed paper instructions in the box. So that's pretty much it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and get it out of the box and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here is everything you get in the box. There is a little bit of assembly required. There's a little battery compartment here that you want to go ahead and put your AAA batteries in. It does take two of them. Slides off, put them in, slides right back on. And then you want to go ahead and feed the strap through these two plastic bars. It's a pretty decent sized strap. It does fit my arm pretty well, but unfortunately the handle here is just a little bit too small. I can get 3 fingers through pretty comfortably. But then, like, this finger just kind of either sits in here, which isn't really comfortable, or kind of on here, and there's kind of some hard edges here. So it's just really not that comfortable to hold on to. This piece also does come separate in the box. So all you do, you can see there's a little spring-loaded latch right there. So when you feed this through, that clicks into place. And then if you ever want to take it off, you just press that button down. Got your speaker right here. On and off switch is here in the back. So we'll go ahead and turn it on. So, says its name. If you spin this with nothing inside, nothing happens. If you hit this button, nothing happens either until you put a gear in. But you have a few nice paint applications. You got the sunglasses here on the little tiger head with a nice white trim. Got the little bit of red paint there for the nose. Got some silver paint up here. Got some gold paint around as well. So overall, I think it looks pretty good. So we do have the Don Torbolt and Kiba Ranger Avataro gears. So we'll take a look at them real quick. I really like the look of this one. I think that's a really cool form. I think the gear looks really good. That is number 96. And then the Kiba Ranger gear, also looking pretty snazzy. And that is number 24 because it has the same numbering as the Die Ranger gear. So basically how this works, you just open up the cover, you put an Avataro gear in, you spin it. For Don Torbolt and Don Dragoku only, you can put them in and spin it, then it gives you some standby music. You spin it again, it doesn't attack. All of the others, you put it in, spin it, it gives you standby music, and then you hit the button. And then for all of them, you can hit the button first and then spin it and get an attack sound as well. So we'll go ahead and start this off here. Sometimes this thing gets a little nuts. So next up we will do Don Dragoku. So it's kind of cool. The standby music for Don Bolt you can hear is the tiger growling, and then for Don Dragoku it's kind of the dragon's roar. So I think that's pretty cool. Next up, we will do the Kiba Ranger gear. Sometimes it's a little difficult to pop these off. Now it does also have connectivity for the Zanglass Sword and the Ryuko no Geki. Unfortunately, you kind of have to keep spinning this to make it turn off. And then it does work with the Zanglass Sword as well. So it has some new standby music, and it does give you a white light because it knows it's Kiba Ranger, which I think is pretty cool. So we have a ton of gears that we can try out with this, but before we do that, I wanted to just show off that this is a reader, but because these have the same like system as the normal Red Ranger gear, so this is the team gear for Dai Ranger, and then this is Kiba Ranger. When you put it in here, it knows it as Kiba Ranger. When you put it in the Dawn Blaster, it knows it as Dai Ranger. So just to prove the point, I'm going to go ahead and put the Dai Ranger gear in here. So the Dai Ranger gear and the Kiba Ranger gear work exactly the same in this, because when you're using it in this, it knows to interpret it as Kiba Ranger. In the Dawn Blaster, it knows to interpret it as Dai Ranger. So if I were to use this gear or this gear in here, and then connect the Ryuko no Geki or the Zanglass Sword, it's going to do the same sounds because it's this that's telling those two other roleplay items what to interpret it as. So the Zanglass Sword could read either of these gears, but if it's getting the signal from the Dawn Blaster, it's going to say, oh, okay, now it's Dai Ranger. If it's getting the signal from this, it's going to say, oh, that's Kiba Ranger. So I think that's kind of neat how that works, and that's how they were able to, you know, you reuse a lot of the same numbering and gear patterns, but still like packing all the sounds so they didn't have to plug in two separate sounds because there is a kind of limited space in these. So I think that's kind of a neat function. Alright, so I'm going to break this up into a couple segments just because we have so many gears to go through. So we're going to start off with a couple of oddballs here, but we have the Don Dragoku Alter gear, we have the Robotaro gear for Toradora Gonjin, and then I'm just going to throw in Dragon Ranger here since this was kind of the first one that he used. So we'll go ahead and we'll start off with Dragon Ranger. I love that it plays the flute there. So really nice green LED there for Dragon Ranger. I think that's really cool. Next up, we'll do the Dondragoku altar. So I just wanted to show that spinning it doesn't do anything. And you don't get any secondary sound for spinning it a second time. And then next up, we will do the Robotaro gear for Toragora Gonjin. So it says the two Robotaros that make up Toradora Gonjin, which is Robotaro... Hold on, I always get this wrong. Don Robo Goku and Don Robo Bolt. So those are the two mecha. And then if we go ahead and Gattai... So I think that's pretty cool. You got Don Robo Goku and Robo Bolt, and then together they make Toradora Gonjin. So it does have that secondary spin for the Gattai sound, just like the Don Onitaijin Robotaro do in the Dawn Blaster. So I think that's pretty cool. Alright, so next up we'll go through and do all the ones that we have actual 6 Ranger gears for. So we'll start off with Gokai Silver. Next up we have Star Ninja. So you get a little guitar riff there, which is kind of cool. Oop, I grabbed from the wrong pile. We'll go with Ho Soldier next. So that's actually kind of neat. Since Q Ranger had so many Rangers and there were a few that were kind of considered the 6th Ranger, it actually goes from purple to blue to red for those 3 different Rangers. So I think that's actually really cool. Okay, now we are ready for Lupin X. Next up, Ryuso Gold. All right, next we have Kirame Silver. And last but certainly not least, we have 2 Kaiser. So that's all the official 6th Ranger Avataro gears that I have so far. I know more were just released. I think the most recent Candy Toy Wave has a bunch of them, so we'll check those out when I get a hold of those. But because we know that the normal Avataro gears will work in this as the 6th Ranger gears, we can kind of go ahead and do that. So I have Go Busters, I have Kyoryuger here, Tokyuger, Zyuohger, and Pato Ranger, so we'll go through those. And I should mention, anything before Go Kaiger just says, like, Legend-san, with the exception of Zyuranger and Dairanger, because those were the first two. But anything in the middle there, even if they had a 6th member of the team, it's just going to say Legend-san. I tried, like, Mega Ranger in here, and it didn't do anything significant, so just wanted to point that out. We'll go ahead and get started with Go Busters. So it says Beetle Buster, even though there were kind of two, like, quote-unquote 6th Rangers for Go Buster with Beat Buster and Stag Buster. It just says Beetle Buster. Maybe that's supposed to count for both of them because they're both Beetles. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if we'll see official, like, quote-unquote 6th Ranger gears for both of them or just Beat Buster. I guess we'll see how that goes. I like that little riff right there. That's really fun. So similar to how it worked for Q Ranger, you can see there that it kind of goes back and forth between gold and silver because it knows there's kind of two quote-unquote 6th Rangers. So I think that's pretty cool. So next up we have Kyoryuger. I was kind of hoping, because there were also a lot of Rangers in Kyoryuger, that it would cycle through all the rest of the colors. But I think, you know, Kyoryu Gold is kind of undisputedly the 6th member of that team. But I was still kind of hoping it would go through Aqua and Granite and all the others. But unfortunately it didn't. Alright, next up we have Tokyuger. The train sounds there are really fantastic. That's pretty cool. We don't get many orange rangers, so it's cool to have the orange blade light up there. And then we have Zyuohger. So since Zyuoh the World is kind of three colors, black, silver, and gold, it goes through all three of the colors there, which I think is really cool. And then last but not least, we have Pato Ranger. I think this thing is a lot of fun. It's got a ton of functionality packed into it. Even though it doesn't have sounds for every single Sentai that's out there, there's still so much going on here. We have Dragon Ranger, Kiba Ranger, and then pretty much every sixth from Gokaiger onward. And there's a ton of functionality there with the sounds, the attack sounds, the compatibility with both the Ryuko no Geki and the Zanglass Sword. I just think it's great. I definitely recommend picking this up. If you have all the other roleplay items so far, you're definitely going to want to go ahead and grab this one because it can interact with just about all of them, and there's a lot of fun to be had mixing and matching all the gears and getting all the different sounds. And like I showed, you can use the Red Ranger just team gears if you don't have all the 6 Ranger gears because they do make the same sounds. This thing will read all of those kind of team gears as the 6 Ranger gears because they share the same kind of like patterning to the edges of the gears. So you don't have to go out and buy a whole nother set of gears to get all the functionality out of this. You could probably even use the Sentai gears you have from Zenkaiger. So definitely recommend picking this up. A lot of fun to be had. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, thank you so much for watching.